Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to Ron's Choice. I think we've got it going now. This is crazy. Got 4 screens going here. I think we've got the lighting down. Getting better. The perfect start. Why is it the perfect start? Because you got started, and that's perfect. So, now, honestly, I've lost my train of thought because I had a phone call and trying to get all these settings right. So, there's always something to talk about. Your mindset, right? Being in control. It takes practice. It takes practice to be in control of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. And one way that I do that is by meditation. I wrote down on my big whiteboard. I think it's important at some point that I share with you. Here's a question. Here's a question for you to give it some thought. And many people have thought about this. Why are we here? Why are you here? What is your purpose? What is the purpose for everyone else? For me, when I got clarity, I want to be careful to say I understand. I don't think I'm clear. I'm more clear on that. And I still question it. I question if those thoughts are accurate. But it's like what I've come to realize is what I say over and over is your truth is your reality. When you look at life, do things happen around you because you thought them into existence? Or the way you think about your situation is because of the situation? I'll give you an example of an analogy I used to use is marriage. Do you think your marriage sucks because it sucks, or does your marriage suck because you think it sucks? A lot of people, and I use that because a lot of people have these preconceived notions about marriage. Once you get married, you stop having sex, and this happens and that happens, and a lot of it's true. But is it because you had that predetermined notion that's why it happens that way? And what I've learned is that's how most things happen. And I was listening to, what was it? Probably Sadhguru. I don't remember what it was about. Either way, you hear a lot of people saying the present. Be thankful for the present because it's like a gift. Well, if you break that word down, like sometimes we break down impossible as I am possible. Well, let's break down the present. Present. So, if you presend a thought on how marriage is going to go, you get married, and then it goes, it sucks, and everything like you thought, you present that. So the present it's from a previous thought. It was present, and now you're living that reality. Now, of course, and in my effort to keep things simple and repetitive, that's what you'll hear me say. I'm just gonna. I used to go back and forth about that, but nothing is just like that. You snap your finger. It is, but it's not. So sometimes you have to go deep, or you just have to accept it for what it is. I'm telling you my experiences, and if you take it that way, this is my belief, this is my thought process, this is Ron's choice going forward, is that I'm responsible for everything that happens to me. If something happens to me, it was from a previous thought. So you can change your thought, and unless you have an extremely high desire and expectation, then you can change it. That's where magic happens. That's where the miracles happen. Take, for example, the grandma that picked up the car with her grandchild underneath it. Now, if she had stood there and said, man, I'm not strong enough to do that, in order to pick this car up, I would have to work out for months and months and months. No, her desire and her expectation was strong enough at that moment, and she created magic. So a lot of us aren't in those situations. We have a lot of time to think. We have a lot of time to debate and question and doubt, and that's just all part of the process. So the stronger you get, and the less that you question yourself, you have to. Then you'll see progress, results. You'll see results. How do we do that? How do we help stay on track? You get anchor thoughts. You think of things that you've done, accomplished, and achieved through that process. You find other people that have accomplished things through that process. And when you start to get in doubt, you think back to that time. Well, I was able to do this then. That's how it works. I'm just finding this more challenging. Money is one of those things that are challenging. Well, what I've seen for myself and others, it's usually easier we can manifest things. A lot of times we can manifest people. We can attract people to us in certain situations. And that's why, again, meditation, visualization comes in key. Otherwise, you learn what you want sometimes by getting what you don't want. So I'm going to have to pause her. I'll call her back. Okay, so with that in mind, you're in control. Everything is pre-sent from you. Disprove it. Disprove it. You don't have to believe me. Look, you have to be able to look deep into your thoughts. You have to be aware, okay? Being aware is very crucial. Most of us aren't self-aware. We're able to point out some of our flaws. We are able to point out some of our good things. But we're not really aware of our thoughts. Our deepest thoughts that really, really control what we do and what goes on. So it's when something comes up, your initial thought, if you can capture that and say, wow, that's really how I feel. That's it. But you can change that. That was something I really had to work on with money to get to the point that I am. And I see what the block is to get me to the next level. If you can't visualize with an absolute expectation of you having what you want, you're not going to get it. You can't just speak it into reality. You can't just make vision boards and say, oh, I really want this. You have to be able to see yourself in that situation as if You've done it. You've had dreams. You've had things that you wanted, and they just felt so real. That's what it's like. When it just feels like so real, you're just expecting it. It's like it's mine. I'm just sitting here and I'm gonna get it. And then you'll take inspired action to do things to get what you want. You'll have these thoughts, right? I'm going to get into that later. That's how we know what our purpose is. You know deep down. But the purpose of being here on Earth is to take action. So it's only 10 minutes. Wow. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. I got to return a phone call. Quick message, and we'll be back with